Hi, this is Shelly's Everyday Prepping Adventures. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel so that you can get updated information. I am in the Maryland area. I have a background in farming. I grew up on a farm. When I was a child, I'm 55. So when I was a child, probably, that would be the early to mid 70s. We had pigs, we had cows, we had chickens, we had ducks. Um, we had all that stuff, and we had eggs, and we always had fresh meat. I never realized that we were poor, basically, because we always had food to eat. Um, it never occurred to me because we were self-sufficient. We had eggs if we needed them. We had milk from the cows if we needed them. We sent out a beef yearly to be butchered, so we had a freezer full of meat for the year. We would butcher our own chickens if we needed to. So, we were self-sufficient. We butchered pork. We would send it to the local butcher. So anyway, I've been what we would call a prepper all of my life. My family of preppers, grandparents, great-grandparents. My great-grandmother was born in 1897. She died when I was 14, so I learned a lot from her. She could sew, she could can. There wasn't anything she couldn't do. She made quilts all the time. She was 94 when she passed, and she quilted up until the day she died. She would can um, ground beef. She would can sausage. She was self-sufficient. She didn't need anything. She came from the hills of Virginia, on the West Virginia-Kentucky border, and there wasn't anything that she couldn't do to take care of herself. So I saw that as I was growing up, and I kind of took it for granted that everybody lived that way, which we know they don't. But anyway, I digress. My family is what you would call preppers. We always prepared for the next season, for the next year. We made sure we had enough. We had enough from the summer to get us through to the next summer till we could grow more crops, and we put stuff back if we can. So it's in my blood to do that, and I've done it my entire life. I have always been I've always put stuff back. And it saved me a couple of times with job losses. My husband lost his job when our daughter was about 11 months old. So that helped with that. There was always food to eat and that kind of stuff. So now I am planting a garden, and I put stuff back in my pantry. Um, I never recommend hoarding. Hoarding to me is when you go in and you buy up a bunch of stuff that you don't need. Prepping is when you go and you buy, let's say you buy one box of macaroni and cheese for dinner tonight, so you buy an extra one. You put the extra one back in your pantry for the next time. Now, when you need it the next time, you go out and buy 2 boxes, one for dinner that night and put the other one back. Now you have 2 boxes in your pantry. This is a cheap way to get started, to start building up your pantry. Only buy the stuff that you eat. Do not buy stuff that you don't eat. That is wasteful. So prep. Um, on this channel, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about how to dehydrate vegetables, frozen vegetables. I'm going to talk about canning. I'm going to talk about gardening, container gardening, and raising chickens. We need to think more about being self-sufficient. I was in Walmart, my local Walmart, 2 days ago, and there was no chicken on the shelves. There was no chicken in the refrigerated section. And there was a lady between late 30s, early 40s. She's on the phone with someone and she's panicked. There's absolutely no chicken in the refrigerated section. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I could see the panic on her face, and I felt bad for her. But if you don't know, you need to look into the avian flu, which is affecting our chickens, our turkeys, and different fowl that we eat. So in the United States and all around the world, they are killing chickens because they have this avian flu. Millions of birds have been destroyed, millions. This is going to affect our meat. This is going to affect our eggs. We're not going to have what we need when we need it. So you need to consider that. There will not be chicken. There will not be eggs eventually. And if they are, they're going to be very limited amounts. So you need to take that into consideration. The western part of the United States is in a severe to moderate drought. So we're having wheat shortages. Canada is having wheat shortages. We get wheat from Ukraine, and we all know what's going on over there. So wheat is going to be an issue, and we need wheat for bread. So bread is going to get more expensive. I recommend that you stash some wheat back and, or excuse me, flour back, and I recommend that you um, go ahead and learn how to make bread because you may need that. What I've done is I went online and I've gotten recipes and I've printed them out and I've started myself a nice notebook with recipes and different things so that I have them when I need them. I mean, who knows if, today I've been having problems with my internet. It's been sketchy. So who knows what's going to happen? Corn. Corn is going to be an issue. Corn is used in a lot of things, but Brazil's having droughts. They've had late freezes and different things. It's affected corn. It's affected coffee. I don't know if you've noticed. My daughter called me the other day. She said, "Oh my God, Mom, the coffee that I normally buy has been up $4 a can." So everything is going through the roof. Stock it, stack it. Prepare yourselves. We need to prepare. There are hard times coming. If you are listening, they are telling us. They're telling us. Biden said the other day that food shortages are real. Klaus Schwab at the World Economic Forum said that our food supply, electricity, and heat is all going to be deeply affected. Deeply affected. He said he doesn't know exactly what that means, but it's going to be deeply affected. Honestly, I'm sure they know exactly what that means, but that's just my opinion. My opinion. Anyhow, you need to prepare. You really need to think about um, being more self-sufficient. You need to learn to grow a garden. You need to learn to plant things. Growing a garden isn't as easy as just throwing a few seeds in the ground. There's a learning curve to gardening. Buy some books, stock up on those on how to plant. I live on a farm, but I'm going to do some container gardening this year. Container gardening, I like that because it's not as hard on my back getting down to weed and to pick and harvest and everything. So my daughter and her husband, they grow a nice garden. Last year they canned a bunch of stuff. So they're learning as well to be self-sufficient. Um, I believe it's going to be important. I talked about how my grandparents worked and lived and how we were raised. And I think we're going to have to go back to that, sadly. My husband and I were sitting in our local restaurant a couple of nights ago, and my favorite dish is I like their uh, buttermilk breaded chicken breast. So I get that, and I get mashed potatoes with gravy, and I get corn as a side. So yeah, I looked at him and I said, the chicken shortage, the lady in the grocery store, there's no chicken on the shelves. So here's my chicken. How long are they going to be able to get chicken? The potatoes, and restaurants mostly use the potato flakes. So, if you look in Walmart, and I went to Walmart and there's nothing. I mean, very few potato flakes on the shelves. And then corn. I talked about corn. There's going to be a corn shortage at some point. It may not happen this year. It may happen next year. Not only are we having droughts and we're having freezes, later freezes, but we're having fertilizer issues. My father is a grain farmer, and he said his fertilizer bill tripled, more than tripled. And you're not talking just about fertilizer, but you're talking about herbicides, the herbicides that keep the weeds down so that the corn can grow. I know a lot of people don't like chemicals, but when you're growing in bulk, you have to do this to provide food for the world. Cannot get it. They're having, it's too expensive and they can't get it. And this is most of our fertilizers and our chemicals and stuff come from Russia. Some come from China. These places have decided not to export anymore. So we're going to be relying on ourselves. Without the fertilizer, the corn might grow, but it won't grow. There won't be as much of it. It won't be as plentiful. So there's going to be a corn shortage. So I'm looking at my plate and I'm thinking, okay, how long can this restaurant stay in business? Will they still be able to get this stuff? And if they can, how expensive is it going to be? And will I be able to afford to come? In a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, is this restaurant going to be able to make it? I don't know. I honestly don't know. They made it through the shutdowns and everything, and I was happy about that. But I honestly, I don't know. I don't know what's coming. I do know it's not going to be good. All you have to do is listen to the news, and I'm not a fan of the news. I don't believe they tell us the truth. They hide things from us. But if you listen, they're telling us there's going to be a problem. You are the only one that can prepare for yourself. No one else is going to prepare for you. You do it. The government will not be taking care of you. They will not be taking care of you. We are sending our food overseas to help others. We're not taking care of ourselves. We have no stores of food for the people. They have released our oil, our strategic oil reserves, and believe it or not, they're sending it overseas. So you have to stop and ask yourself, what's going to happen? How can I take care of myself? Please prepare. You're going to need to. This is Shelly's, Everyday Prepping Adventures. Please subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share with your friends. Thank you for stopping in. Have a blessed day.